What's going down? It's your boy, EJ Nduka, the judge. And we're here in New York, the Battle Riot. And make sure y'all tune into True Heel Heat. They got it going. I'll see y'all.
Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, that's Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review number 18, Becky Hogan. Reviewing the April 22nd, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw, as only we can. To do that, I am joined by the man who made the title for this episode this week. So any angry Becky Lynch fans can go to him at 4 Romeo Anthony on Twitter. He is the face and the ace of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. He is Romeo Anthony Cologne.
Be angry all you want. I got that from Twitter. This was a trending topic. Becky Hogan. Sometimes if I don't have a title for the episode, I go by what Twitter was saying. And Twitter was saying Becky Hogan, just like Liv, Morgan Revenge Tour, all that stuff. The previous week, what was that acronym that Cody had? Oh my God, I forgot what it was. That was the name of an episode. Little Dick Syndrome.
Oh yeah, yes. LDS. Yeah.
It's just, that was going around. That was the word around town. But how are you doing, SP3? How's everyone doing in the chat? I'm doing wonderful. The Knicks, baby. The Knicks 2-0 over the Philly 76ers, who are just crying about it. They can't fathom losing to the Knicks in the first round. It's a thought they don't want to live through, and they are so close. They're 2 games away from losing.
I would tell the people watching, enjoy Romeo talking so excitedly about basketball, because I feel in a round or two he won't be. So I'm gonna let you live, brother. I'm gonna let you live. I'm gonna
Go
let
crazy.
you live. Now that crowd was ridiculous last night in Madison Square Garden, so definitely worthy of you bragging a bit. We got in the chat Power Driver Finisher. He says it's SP3. We also got Queen Monet, who says hello to you, Queen Monet. We also got in the chat G Loke, who says what it do at True Hill Heat. Ready to hear what I miss with the best content. Smash up that like. We also got Eric Isaac, who says, what it do, True Hill Heat fam? Can't wait for NXT tonight, when more Black history will be made as Trick becomes champ, joining Moose, Swerve, Willow, Athena, Oba, and even Cody in the new age of wrestling. No, Cody does not belong in that group of people, and I'm going to tell you, I need to stop joking about that. Oh man, yeah, this is literally y'all are doing the definition of white appropriation.
Do you think Trick wins tonight?
Yes, definitely. They got to give him another year in NXT, because no matter how much some WWE fans were angry, Dave Meltzer was right. Trick Williams is at like 100, a 10 out of 10 when it comes to charisma, but when it comes to in-ring work, that needs some time.
I think he wins too.
There we go. The Black History Month continues. We also got in the chat here, we got Jamie Williams. He says, I thought Nia or Liv. I mean, if you watch this show here, we both thought Nia or Liv, and we got the choice. We said that was a likely choice, but we also said that was the least interesting option of the choices, and they went with that. But it makes sense. You replace one big star with your other big star of your women's division.
I don't know about makes sense. I want to argue this.
Oh boy, here we go. I got to get myself prepared.
But listen, let me get my rant out here early.
Oh
this is great. Oh, logging on Twitter this morning, seeing all the Becky Lynch fans. You think they just won a championship. You think they'd be like me with the Knicks win. Wow, yes, woo. It is, woo. Everybody's a lawyer out there. They got to defend, because they don't like this. They don't like this feeling of not everyone enjoying what they enjoyed. It's crazy. It's like they became what they hated the most. Once upon a time, Charlotte Flair would win, and I wouldn't go on social media like, oh, why isn't everyone happy? Hell no, I was happy.
No, you would just basically be like, I'm right for being happy. All of you are wrong. That's not a better option.
Yes.
That's just as immature. Just like
but I mean, Becky Lynch fans, you need to celebrate. Stop worrying what other people think. Be happy. Enjoy it. Embrace the hatred out there, the darkness of not everyone liking what you like.
I get what Becky Lynch fans are upset about, because it's preposterous. It's preposterous to go on social media and call Becky Lynch Becky Hogan and said, what was the last time Becky doesn't want to put anyone over? She's using her creative control. Like WrestleMania 38 and WrestleMania 40 never happened. Like the year 2023, where she worked with Damage Control and Trish and Zoe Stark, the entire NXT division put over Tiffany Stratton and Lyra Valkyria, all for y'all to turn around 6 months later and say that she's Becky Hogan.
Well, Hogan's a nice little Irish name. It's just a nice little goes with Becky. That's all. But listen, those people are out of line for saying. Do
not lie, because there will be people that watch this and actually believe what you just said. So don't do that. Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that, Skip.
Listen, the people that are out of line are the ones that are saying, that like this is some like creative power play by Becky Lynch. It's not. She's not.
She doesn't book the show. She does not book the show. She does not have any creative cause in her contract.
But I just want people out there to know and realize that not everybody wanted to see Becky Lynch win. A very large portion wanted to see something different, something fresh instead of back to Becky.
And that's totally fine. I just don't think that it's normal and rational to go from that genuine feeling or emotion and then going to the extreme of saying that she's using creative control to do this. And she's only been a champion 7 times.
Yeah, it's lightweight.
It's
But
light. It's so light.
Whatever it is. So to the Becky Lynch fans, just don't let that get to you personally. Don't let that bother you. Enjoy being on top. That's the number one thing. Screw the trolls. It's okay. Just celebrate. Be happy. That's my message to the Becky Lynch fans.
I will say, Antoine, when Antoine says, "Man, Liv always bridesmaid, never bride. Becky is Charlotte 2.0." That's complete BS with the final comment. But the before comment of Liv always being the bridesmaid, Becky Lynch is the only one who can cut the promo on her of all the time she's been the runner-up. She's been the bridesmaid and not the bride. The 2023 Royal Rumble, the 2024 Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber 2024. I think Elimination Chamber a couple of years back, she also lost last. Like, she is consistently the runner-up and never the bride. And I want Becky, because I feel like Becky can do the promo and not be a heel doing it, but
that's the problem. Yeah,
she would get under Liv's skin enough to make Liv turn heel.
Well, she already is heel. What do you mean?
No, she's
not heel.
No, it was obvious last night. She is not a heel yet.
Which I don't get it.
I'll be honest with you. That's why I said, like, we always got to be very clear what we tell people, because some people did not watch the show last night and would think like you. Oh, Liv Morgan's already heel. She turned heel last week. But then when you watch that show, they did not position Liv as a heel at all.
Right. Wasn't she clapping with the fans?
Mm-hmm. She high-fived the fans when she came out. She was beefing with Nia Jax backstage, a firmly established heel. She got cheered when she came to the ring. She was not booed like she was last week because Rhea's not here. But there was signs that they are going to take the steps to get her over as a heel. And I think that one of the first steps was getting the title on Becky, because I feel like, probably it's going to be more effective if Liv beats Becky for the championship instead of winning this Battle Royal, whereas her being the runner-up at the Battle Royal could further her heel turn, because that is once again she being the runner-up and not the winner.
Well, that's why I figured one of Liv or Nia was going to win, was because it was a Battle Royal and because they didn't want Becky to get pinned. If Becky was going to win anyways.
No, they don't care about Becky not getting pinned. And I know Becky doesn't care about that. I think she wants to genuinely put Liv over because of their feud from 2022.
All right, but it's going to be a little different now, because what are we building up? A heel on the chase here? It's kind of weird.
Oh, it's not. It happens all the time. You act like you've never seen a heel chase a title.
Yeah, but is that what we're rooting for now?
I don't know. I'm not rooting for that. I'm rooting for Becky Lynch.
I'm not.
I'm rooting for Becky Lynch. I am a Becky Lynch fan. I am standing 10 toes down with Becky Lynch because she said she liked working with Ronda Rousey in her book. So I believe her. We got in the chat, your niece is here saying hi.
Hello,
Uncle Romeo.
That's when I will reply to you. Not when you say hi, ugly. Now you got your comment right.
I did not highlight that one.
Right, thank you. We don't acknowledge that.
You do not acknowledge that, tribal chief. We got Ruben Barber, who says not just WWE, but all of these sports entertainment as companies or at companies, wrestling companies, need to do a better job of building bigger stars in the women's division. If not, we're going to have more Becky and Charlotte. The crazy thing is WWE has done that. Outside of the 4 horsewomen, they have a Rhea Ripley. They have a Bianca Belair. They've been given the big promotion to your Jade Cargills. We've been seeing the steps being made to turn Liv Morgan heel, where she will have a much higher ceiling than underdog babyface Liv Morgan as an unhinged heel. Nia Jax has gotten a big push since he returned in September last year. So they've taken the steps of trying to make other stars in the women's division because, hey, last year, the first half of the year, I was just like, when are y'all going to do this Rhea and Becky match? Because this is the only one y'all got. But they took the steps, bringing back Nia, pushing certain women, signing Jade Cargill, where I feel like they have made the steps of positioning some potential stars, but we need the big push for them. I do agree.
I mean, yeah, they have built other stars. Bianca and Rhea are big time stars now. So we can't say that they haven't. They have. And you can't build too many because then they all can't be on top at once. So I get it.
And sometimes they'll give you the title and it doesn't stick. That's what happened with Liv Morgan. They gave her the title, did not work. They regrouped, built her back up. I think finally they realized after the Rhea injury, underdog babyface Liv Morgan, I think there's a ceiling on that, and they're taking the steps to turning her heel. But
underdog babyface, Roxanne could do that eventually. We don't need Liv Morgan doing that. I like Liv Morgan revenge story.
I'll be honest. I think Liv and Roxanne are better as heels.
We'll see.
Like Roxanne played genuinely a very good underdog babyface character, but after about a year and after her NXT title run, it was over. After her NXT women's title run and she lost via anxiety, yeah, I was over that character, and they dragged it out for another year before they finally turned her heel. So I'll give them credit for finding stuff for her to do for a year, but she finally feels in the place where I think this character is ready for the main roster call-up.
Hey, I'm all for heel Liv Morgan. Like the Liv Morgan revenge tour. That's fun. That has some fight to it. And now she has to get revenge on Becky.
Indeed. Yusuf saying Becky is the right decision. We also got Nelly Neal, who says Liv Morgan was just a mid-card champion in their eyes. They think she's not ready to be a top player yet. Yes, I do agree. I do agree with that, because I think that mainly with the women that they have established, I think with Rhea and Bianca, yes, they have established them as stars, but I don't think Rhea or Bianca is ready to lead anyone to the best match of their career. Becky and Charlotte, I think that they will always go back to them and Bayley and Asuka, because they can lead any of these girls to a great match. The one woman star who they learned this year can do that is Io Sky. Rhea, I don't think Rhea's ready for that yet, and she showed in her all her title matches outside of the Nia and Becky matches, she's not that good at leading the match. When she's the one leading the match, it's not that good.
Give her more time. That comes with a lot of years and experience to get to that level that the names you mentioned are at.
Yeah, of course. We got Ruben Barber, who says, I like the point that you made pretty good, but it took forever to Jade in WWE to get her rolling. But in TNA and AEW women's division, awful. I don't think that at all. I think, honestly, AEW is making the adjustments and improving their women's division before our eyes. Getting someone like Mercedes Moné. And I have made perfectly clear all my issues with Mercedes Moné's presentation and character since signing with AEW. We cannot deny that it's shifted more of a focus on the women's division. And even in the past month that she's been in the company, I would say Willow Nightingale's a bigger star than she used to be. The whole act of Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, and Stokely Hathaway are more over than it was before. Timeless Toni Storm done found her working boots and put on two of the best matches of her whole entire reign against Izumi and Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa just had a standout pay-per-view performance. They're taking the steps there. TNA, that's a whole other thing. I feel like TNA is not just a women's division thing. They do a good job of booking their women's division, and they do have a bigger star in Jordan Grace. It's just that TNA, it doesn't look like they have a direct focus on what direction the company is going right now, coming out of Rebellion on Saturday.
TikTok on that. My good friend Jordan Grace's contract. She needs to come to WWE.
Yeah.
And then we got another star.
Yeah. See, like Big Man does, he gets it. Yeah, like AEW's women's division is actually watchable now. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when they say that or type that, oh, the AEW women's division is awful, they're thinking the AEW women's division of a year ago and not the AEW women's division of the past 3 months, which is, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's how fans' brains work. But thank you for those comments. Thank you for the good conversation to start things off. But remember, guys, we do this for y'all, so we want to see your support back. Drop the thumbs up on the video, comment, keep commenting in the live chat, and send those super chat donations. They go back to the contributors, Romeo, myself. I'm a broke guy with 2 twins, and they growing, and I need new clothes. I appreciate the support. Just saying. We kick off the show. Last night's Monday Night Raw was from Columbus, Ohio. The show kicked off with the commentary team in the ring, which was an interesting start here, as we have Michael Cole and Pat McAfee stood in center ring and welcomed us to Monday Night Raw. McAfee said tonight's matchup to determine a new women's world champion would be just the 4th time a world champion would be crowned in a battle royal, and called it one of the biggest matches in company history. We then go to a recap of Rhea Ripley giving up the championship, and Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch are shown arriving at the building. And then when we go back to the arena, it is none other than the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, Jey Uso. He comes out getting a big ovation from the crowd here in Columbus. He says that Backlash was in 2 weeks, and he had a lot to prove. He had to prove he was main event Jey Uso. He had to prove that he could beat Damian Priest to make everything he went through worth it. This brings out the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. He says that Jey seems ready for a fight, but Priest tells him to relax. Priest puts him over. He says that he earned this spot, and then he tells a story of a match that they had in the past where Jey whooped his ass so bad that Priest approached him in the locker room to tell him that he earned his respect. He says that that's why he wanted him in the Judgment Day last year. He says that they went out for drinks that night and Priest paid the bill. And he says he loves to drink that bloodline expensive stuff, so it cost a lot of money. And Jey says, I took an Uber. Great one-liner. Great one-liner.
Smart man.
Priest also remembers Jey telling him that they were next in line. And Priest says that he is proud to stand there with him and say, yes, he was right. But Jey was only half right, because Priest was the World Heavyweight Champion. Priest called Jey the first on a list of people that the machine would feed him to make the belt look good. Jey could then lead the fans to rise for their El Campeón. Jey was offended that Priest only thought of him as a tag team guy, even though he didn't say that, and thought that that was rich coming from someone in a stable. Jey told Priest the only reason he was the leader of the Judgment Day was because Rhea Ripley was hurt. And then he says that he wanted Priest to tell Ripley he said hi. He also said Priest was just Dominic's bitch now. Jey said Priest was the one being fed to him because he was going to be the next champion. This leads to JD McDonough coming out. He jumps Jey from behind to Priest dismay, but Jey saw it coming. He evades the shot from JD. He goes for a super kick on McDonough, but McDonough ducks. So Jey hits the World Heavyweight Champion. Jey has a brief slight moment of regret, but he brushes it off and leaves. Priest gets up and he is totally pissed at
That
JD.
picture's funny.
What did you think about our opening segment here with Jey and Damian Priest on the mic? I thought it was pretty good. I thought that Priest was strong here, feeling like a world heavyweight champion for the first time since winning the title at WrestleMania in this promo.
Yes, I liked it. I agree. Priest is the main takeaway here. Like, he came off naturally, like being himself. Like, this felt like they were having a natural conversation. Like, it wasn't forced, and it felt real. Um, Jay's, he has to get his yeets out of the way early for the crowd, so that the crowd's happy. Me and you, we
It's
can't
so
stand the
annoying.
yeets.
It's so
I know.
annoying now. I'm over it. I'm really over it. It's a promo crutch now. Like he can't, and like
They're gonna do it anyways.
but he leads them into it. Like
But you have to get it
but
out the way
but
first.
Austin did his what in a way that he knew it was coming, so he basically structured his promo around it. Jay structures his promo in a way that he wants them to do it. That is the difference.
Because once you get it out of the way, you can have this conversation and they're not going to yeet you. That would have been even more annoying if they're trying to have this serious conversation about what happened in the past and you got yeets in the middle of it. So I understand why you have to get it out of the way, get it out of the crowd system early so you can have the actual conversation. You know? I like Jay better when he doesn't have to yeet. Actually, I like Jay when he's traumatized. That's the best Jay Uso, when he's stressed. But I can't deny how over he is with the crowd, and the people love him. Like, he's their favorite bloodline member.
I get it. But yeah, I kind of agree with Big Man Dogs. He says, "Am I the only one who thinks Jay is super corny? Damian is actually impressing me." Damian came off effortlessly cool here, while Jay came off like a cartoon character.
Not only increases promos, but his backstage stuff is good too.
Yeah, he has that presence to him, which is
getting better.
Me. It's turning me around on his world championship run. We got Nelly Nell, who says all these WWE releases is crazy. They can't lose anymore. Added to the list earlier today was Cameron Grimes, who posted a very emotional video that he just got the call from WWE. He hadn't been really very used since getting called up to the main roster, so definitely understandable why they made that move. Also, Von Wagner was released from the company yesterday, which this is back-to-back where they have these kind of sets of releases where they release someone from NXT who's in an active storyline.
He was in an active storyline? I didn't even know.
Yeah. He was feuding with Lexis King. Lexis King was feuding with him and Robert Stone and making fun of Robert Stone's kids and shit.
Oh. Well, maybe Tony D will write him off.
Yep. He killed him.
Killed him.
We got
listen, I love, I always loved Cameron Grimes. He's gonna be fine. Trevor Lee is his other name. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna whoever picks him up.
TNA.
Whoever picks him up, you're gonna get some much needed a good talent and entertainment.
I hope he goes to TNA. He goes home to TNA where he wasn't very much utilized any better there, to be honest with you. But I feel like he would be now that he has some name value to him. We also got in the chat here, Corey Michaels, who says, putting the belt on Damian has improved his appearance. There's some aura to him, whereas his heel title chaser presentation lacked that. 100%. It's kind of similar to what me and Jimmy Macaram was talking about on last Thursday on AE Ramble about Moxley. How Moxley just feels like a different type of star, and they add a bunch of aura to him with him having the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Even though the belt is hideous, that belt has but the belt has so much prestige to it that Moxley just looks like a world champion. When he holds a world championship, he has that prototypical world champion badass look.
Yeah, but that belt looks silly on him.
No,
it's not a Moxley belt.
No, it doesn't. It looks good. It actually looks all right on him because it's Moxley. Moxley looks good with any world title, in my opinion. Big Man Dog says, my friend said she thinks Priest is bisexual Undertaker, and I was both confused and cracking up. She didn't mean it in a bad way.
That's a whole movement going on online, Big Man Dogs. Your friend didn't create it.
Pretty much. much. Steve Salvage is in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. He says Grimes was a victim of Vince just pulling up guys that were hot but for no reason and no plans for a story. Truly sucks. But it's not like Triple H came in, Steve, and was like, "Oh, let me help this guy out. Let me improve this guy." He improved X, Y, and Z of the people that was there, but he should have been improving the NXT guys. He should have been helping out guys so he didn't wind up like this, in my opinion.
Steve, you cannot write victim of Vince.
Oh my God.
When talking about Cameron Grimes, when there's
Points were made.
Anywho,
Big Man Dog saying the belt is so ugly that Suji shits on it for babyface reactions. Yes, I want Suji to win it so he can get rid of it and bring back the.
I like the stuff Suji's been saying to the New Japan press media.
He's been the vocal guy. Remember, it all started with him telling Okada, "You should be ashamed of how you're leaving." And then ever since then, he's been walling for respect.
Been dropping some
bars. He's like, I'm getting rid of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I'm getting rid of the old era. It's the new era now. And then he said AEW has no respect for the IWGP. Where I had some balls. I love it.
He can talk. He's got the look. Oh my goodness, this guy is Mr. New Japan the next 10 years.
I can't wait for the Shoto Amino Yota Tsuji rivalry to become what Tanahashi and Nakamura was before it. That's what I feel they're shaping that up to be. We got in the chat here. We had Big Man Does who says, "I was giving her too much credit. I'm not involved in the Rhea Stan stuff." Good point. Big Man says Suji is the Lenin of Japan, getting ready for a revolution. Indeed. Next up, we had our opening matchup. First up, we saw Chad Gable and Gunther showing up at the building. They then did a nice little video package for the King and Queen of the Ring. I was like, well, it's kind of early for y'all to be promoting the PLA after the next one. But then I understood as the night progressed why they did that early. But our opening matchup was for the World Tag Team Championships. Awesome Truth, R-Truth, and The Miz defending against Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. DIY. The new belts were presented at ringside, and what we got was a fun little babyface versus babyface matchup. Seemed early that Ciampa hurt his knee, but he appeared to be fine as the match went on. Ciampa nailed Miz in midair with a big old knee strike. Truth tagged in, does his hot tag, doing the John Cena moves before Gargano cuts him off with a super kick. Ciampa followed up with a pedigree for a great near fall. Gargano took out the Miz with a suicide dive. Truth cradled Ciampa for a 2 count. DIY eventually hit meet in the middle on Truth, but Miz is able to yank out Gargano out of the ring to break the cover. Miz chucks Ciampa over the barricade and tags himself in. With Ciampa disposed of, Miz and Truth hit the Truth crushing finale to pick up the win and retain the World Tag Team Championships. Truth and Miz embraced Gargano after the matchup. Miz offered a handshake to Ciampa, but Ciampa left the ring without shaking either man's hand as the crowd booed. This was babyface versus babyface, but I was surprised to see DIY leaning more heel. This just proves just how over our Truth is right now, that he had the Miz getting cheered over DIY just by association. But I enjoyed this one. What did you think?
Yeah, fine match. To me, the most interesting part is, Ciampa at the end, refusing the handshake. They didn't stay with it long. They went immediately right to the next segment, but it's interesting. It's intriguing for what happens with DIY going forward. I don't think they're going to break them up, but what are they going to, are they just going to follow the Way storyline with Candice and Indy? We'll do that too on our team. Then we could all be one big heel family.
There you go. Corey Monet says, after this episode of Raw, I continue to question why they split the tag titles. I believe that they have made enough tag teams that they believe that they have a tag team division on Raw and a tag team division on SmackDown that is viable enough to maintain 2 different tag team titles.
I'm fine with it.
Now I'm gonna be honest. They don't have that many teams that are actually over. They just have bodies.
I am fine with it for now. I reserve my right to change my mind anytime.
Hey, that's fair. We got Safed. He says the tag title match was good. We got Emmanuel who says, how long are Awesome Truth going to be tag team champions? I believe they lose it by King and Queen of the Ring.
The team I wanted to be tag champs fucking broke up last night.
Yeah, because they've been teasing that for fucking 2 years. I mean, to be fair. We got Queen Monet. Yeah, I read that one already. So we go backstage to Damian Priest. He is admonishing JD McDonough for getting involved in his business earlier tonight. They are then approached by Dirty Dominic Mysterio and his mustache. Look at this glorious mustache. This man's been watching Eddie Guerrero in 1997, and he has just copied his whole entire look with the mullet and the mustache. Look at that mustache. And
very disgusting, slimy look. It's great for Dom.
Dom lets the rest of Judgment Day know that he was supposed to team with JD McDonough tonight, but his arm was in a sling. He said he's banged up, so he brought in Santos Escobar as his replacement tonight as a make good for doing a favor for Santos at WrestleMania 40. He said he cleared it. Dom said he cleared it with Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. Priest was annoyed and told Escobar to handle things tonight, and Escobar told him to not worry. He should have worried. What did you think about this backstage segment? I did agree with you earlier what you said. Damian Priest came off well here.
Oh, yeah. He's coming off, assertive like a leader. He's talking down to everybody. I like that Dom has a shoulder sling just like mommy. Oh,
he's having withdrawal syndrome, I guess. Like, see, it hurt his arm too. Next we get the return of the Ring General, Gunther. Gunther entered with Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Gunther got on the mic and he says he wasn't here to talk about WrestleMania or take shots at Sami Zayn. He elevated the Intercontinental Championship for over 666 days to heights that it had never seen before, and he became the greatest Intercontinental Champion in history. Gunther walked around with a target on his back for 2 years, and now that weight has been lifted, all he has to say to Sami Zayn is, thank you. He could be the hunted right now, but now he is the hunter. He declared that his first mission of this post-Intercontinental title reign for the Ring General is that he had declared himself for the King of the Ring tournament. After he won the King of the Ring, he would decide which championship he wanted to go after next, and he warned every champion that they would be hunted by the General of the Ring and the soon-to-be King of the Ring. The New Day comes out to interrupt this moment for Gunther, interrupting his promo with Xavier Woods noting that he was the defending King of the Ring. And he called that Gunther's claim to his throne was that he was a usurper. Usurper, I say. Woods would cement his legacy by becoming a 2-time King of the Ring. Gunther called him a clown king. He said that he would win the tournament and reestablish the prestige of the King of the Ring. Gunther said that Woods won the tournament and covered himself in gold, pretending to be a champion. But New Day says, oh, you mean a champion like you used to be? I mean, Kofi has a great line that gets the fans to start chanting, Gunther, where your gold at? Where your gold at? Gunther, where your gold at? Where your gold at? Gunther, where your gold at? Gunther wanted Imperium to take care of New Day. Woods broke the fourth wall and was annoyed that they've already wrestled them way too many times, which I agree. New Day accepted the match anyway, and Woods said that he would take care of Gunther in the King of the Ring tournament. what did you think about the promo from Gunther, the interruption by the New Day, and Gunther in the ring, the king of the ring, the general of the ring becoming the king of the ring, or the king of the ring general?
All have great rings to it. I mean, King Gunther, come, it's perfect. But I liked Gunther's promo. I was surprised to see the little classy part of it to begin with. It's showing his mad props to Sami Zayn. That's very unique from the heel Gunther. But if anyone's going to do it, it's him. And the King of the Ring, it sounds like we're taking this shit seriously again. You know, no more hokey Xavier Woods. And Xavier Woods, like Xavier Woods, Queen Zelina, like Xavier Woods had the gall to come out here and talk about he's the reigning king. When he dropped the king gimmick, how long ago?
After Roman crushed his Burger King crown.
How could I forget? I made a whole profile picture photoshopping myself in that Roman putting the crown on. But listen, if Gunther's in the King of the Ring, like that is gonna be tough to beat. Like he doesn't need it as far as like you want the King of the Ring to elevate someone. Gunther doesn't really need that. But
no, this is the
cool.
instinct of something that needs to be elevated, and
Right.
Gunther is the guy to do it.
To elevate it like he did the IC title. Yeah. I understand that. So, but yeah. And it sounds like from his talking that the winner of the King of the Ring will be able to challenge for a title, whatever title they want, like the old days.
I think it was more him saying that if he wins, he has a credence to go after another title. I don't think they've specified that the winner of the King of the Ring is going to get a title shot, which I wish they would, honestly.
Right. I want it to be like where you get your title shot and you can just call whenever you have it. Like not like Money in the Bank.
But they only really did that with Booker in 2006. He won and got the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. And Brock Lesnar but had a SummerSlam 2002. Every other King of the Ring, it was just by happenstance they eventually got to a title match. It wasn't in the booking or the stipulation for the tournament that they got a title shot.
Right.
I'll
be interested to see all the names that are in this tournament.
I mean, we got some good ones already with Xavier Woods and Gunther. We'll get a third later in the show. Big Man Dog
Xavier could get knocked out in the first round by Gunther.
Yes, that's what I think is going to happen. Big Man Dog says they can actually call him King Gunther, and without it sounding corny. I agree. Sounds like a king's name. King
Gunther merch. Yep. All good.
There you go. Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, and Nia Jax were all shown arriving at the building earlier today ahead of the Battle Royal. And then we went to Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day versus Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. These two teams have pretty good chemistry with one another, but I'll be honest, they were not given any time to have as good of a matchup as they've previously had on Monday Night Raw here. This match went 8 minutes, 38 seconds. It was broken up by a commercial break, so we really only saw 5 minutes of it. In the end, though, it was New Day charging up, coming up with a bunch of big offense, ending with the up, down, backbreaker, foot stomp combination to pick up the victory here. But the more important note happened in the post-match. Gunther was sitting by the commentary table. He got up after the loss to the New Day. He was absolutely pissed. He stared a hole through Ludwig Kaiser, who was sitting on the announce table while Vinci took the loss. Kaiser got into the ring, did an over-the-top, very much foreshadowing what he was about to do, helping Vinci to his feet, hugging him, kissing him on the forehead. They walked out the ring, and once they got to the ringside, Kaiser pushes Vinci right into the LD screen apron. He drives him into the steel steps. Kaiser places Vinci's head face first on the steps. He was about to kill him when officials ran down to stop him. He leads them to the entranceway, but of course, Vinci does what he always does. He runs around the officials, does a full-on, full-speed drop kick right to the head of Giovanni Vinci. The crowd chants loudly, "Holy shit," to this. And then we follow Kaiser as he goes backstage to the gorilla position where Gunther is watching all of this and very pleased with a smile on his face while Kaiser tells him, "See, I told you I would finish it." So it seems like this is not the official end of Imperium, but more or less Giovanni Vinci being kicked out of Imperium, which feels very short-sighted because Giovanni Vinci, without Imperium, Giovanni Vinci is on the next cut list.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Obviously, we don't hope he is. But
I don't hope it. No,
Right.
I don't hope he is. But like, what's the upside? What's the upside?
No, he's
dude,
doomed.
does anyone see him having a mid-card run on Raw or SmackDown? No. I think the best option for him is going sent back to NXT, which at this point of his career is a death sentence.
He's doomed. He's in the mud. Look, Imperium never got to live up to their full potential with a tag team title run that they most definitely deserved. I think it's too early to just kick Vinci to the curb. He's doomed. Like, it's good for Ludwig Kaiser, but no, they should have had a tag. They should have lasted much longer than they did.
They should have at least had a tag run, a tag team title run.
At least 100%.
I thought the whole reason they were out of the whole loop of anything involving the tag team titles at WrestleMania was they were keeping them away from it so they would be the team to dethrone Awesome Truth. And
Right.
we're not even doing that.
Right. It's done. But as far as this stuff goes, the match was, we've already seen this match a million times. Like, the feud ended. I don't know why we're going back to it just because of King of the Ring. Like, that was silly. I loved Gunther's rage after. And yeah, they, like you said, they stood too long with that shot of Kaiser and Vinci. You saw it coming. But I thought Ludwig did it great. I was surprised that was a nice shot of following Kaiser all the way to the back to see Gunther, and Gunther, to just see him, the big old grin, shit-eating grin on his face. I was interested to see his reaction. I was like, why didn't he come back? We found out pretty soon why he didn't come back, because he was in the back enjoying what he was seeing. And I would low-key like, this is the time you could do it, Kaiser versus Gunther in the King of the Ring tournament.
I think they're going to keep them associated, though.
Right.
Seems.
Right.
Which I don't think it's the worst move, even though I feel like Kaiser has a better chance of getting over on his own than Vinci.
Absolutely. Do you think they're going to separate brands?
Yeah, I think maybe that's the way they separate Kaiser and Gunther. Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I will say with Gunther in the King of the Ring, I'm happy they made that decision because I was very much wondering what was next for Gunther without him taking a long hiatus. I didn't want to see him go back after the Intercontinental Championship. I thought it was too soon for him to go after the World Heavyweight Championship or the Undisputed WWE Championship. This feels like the right move, a prestigious tournament for him to win and establish.
Yeah, for now, but I don't know how I feel about breaking up Imperium like that. Well,
that's definitely a negative from the show overall, honestly.
Because you're still gonna have, we all think that Gunther's gonna be world champion by the end of this year. Wouldn't you want Gunther to have some heaters still as he's world champion? Like, sure, Kaiser could do that, but Vinci's much better at that because you have higher hopes for Ludwig. Yeah. So it's weird, unless Vinci's gonna go prove himself and then come crawling back. Like, I don't know.
Maybe they do that, but it just feels like the culmination of 2 years of them never really letting Imperium just be Imperium. It feels like, we had during the end of the Vince run was Gunther punishing Kaiser with the chops. Then throughout the past year in the Triple H era, we've had them teasing them breaking up or teasing Gunther being not happy with them. Like, there was never a moment where Imperium was good. Imperium could win matches and Gunther was happy with them. It literally was a brief moment right before WrestleMania in January when they beat the New Day. That's it.
And listen, I've been seeing people float around on social media a very awful idea of putting Ilya Dragunov in Imperium to replace Vinci.
That is horrible.
No, You are insulting anybody who's ever watched NXT's intelligence. If you're gonna have all of a sudden Ilya Dragunov was like, "Hey, can I join?"
That's insulting to Ilya Dragunov.
It is
Like
That's
Ilya
not his
Dragunov.
character.
That is not his character at all to join up with the group, especially the group of his all-time career rival. That makes no sense.
Leave that idea in the mud where it belongs.
We got Corey Michaels. He says, unless Vinci redeems himself to Imperium, I like to see him reinvent himself on NXT. Hopefully find something that sticks. His last go around, he was doing cool things, in my opinion. That was my first thought, is that they're going to send him back to NXT and he's going to do the old Italian motto gimmick that he was doing. Because I was enjoying that before he got called up. When he got called up, I was good with it because he's back in Imperium where he's comfortable at. But I was liking the Italian motto gimmick in NXT.
All of a sudden, that just went away.
Mm-hmm.
You had to forget it happened.
Yeah, basically.
That'd be kind of weird to go back to right now after you just got your ass kicked. Like, that gimmick does not translate. Oh, Kaiser just kicked my ass. Let me go be smiling happy. Like, no.
Corey Matthews saying Dragunov in Imperium is like Cyclops joining the Friends of Humanity. To put it in a term that Romeo would understand, in something that he's actually watched or plans on watching in the next decade, unlike X-Men 97, it would be like Captain America joining Hydra.
Hail Imperium.
There was Andrade.
Just say you don't like Ilya Dragunov if you co-sign for that idea. Just say you hate him.
Yeah, if you hate him and that's your idea, I understand.
Yes.
There was an Andrade video package where he targeted Judgment Day, going over him basically never being loyal to the Judgment Day, and how could he have betrayed them if he never showed loyalty to them. He says that they're mad at him because he was not their fool or their servant. Now he is their biggest problem. I've been liking these Andrade video package. I think they've been very well produced.
I agree, and I'll go even further than that. I like when they have the people whose natural languages are in English, have them do these pre-tapes so you could subtitle them, and they come off more naturally talking. Like this, they've done this for Shinsuke, they've done it for Io, and they're all better getting over because of that.
Agreed. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre coming down to the ring. He gets a smattering.
Don't shoot off his skirt, perv.
We got more CM Punk chants here than we did at Dynasty. CM Punk chants to troll Drew McIntyre after WrestleMania 40. He sat down in the cross-legged in the ring and asked the crowd why they insisted on chanting for Punk every time he came out. McIntyre informed the fans that Punk hated them, and the only person he hated more than the fans was himself. There was what chance, so McIntyre told them to say it again if they French kissed their cousins. And they said it, and he was like, "You're sick." McIntyre called Punk a coward and said Priest could never beat him one-on-one. McIntyre didn't get a title rematch like everyone else. He had to compete in a fatal four-way instead. Punk got involved, and Jey Uso took advantage like a coward. I love that Jey Uso took advantage like a coward, unlike the last time he went one-on-one with Jey Uso, where he took advantage of Jimmy Uso's. He was smart to take advantage of Jimmy Uso interfering. See the difference? Yes. McIntyre wasn't going to complain and would instead come out swinging. He says that the next prize that he is looking for, he is officially declaring himself for the King of the Ring tournament. This leads to Sheamus coming down to the ring to interrupt, and it's got a big smile on my face when I heard, "It's a shame for fame, lobster head." Sheamus said McIntyre wasn't taking responsibility for his own actions, and he was wondering what's going on with his former friend. He said that McIntyre got his moment at WrestleMania 40 in front of his family. He said his brother flew all the way from Scotland to be there. His wife, he mentions his wife by name, said that he got to kiss her in the mouth, but he couldn't just take that and leave. He blew it. He blew it over some social media spot. He said he blew it over some grudge from a decade ago. He said he threw it all away over a meme and a t-shirt. Sheamus said that they were friends who had banger after banger after banger that did not get over. Together as McIntyre's friend, Sheamus wanted him to know that a one-armed Punk kicked his arse. McIntyre responds by saying that Sheamus should know better than anyone what Punk has done to him and did to him when he was younger. Sheamus called him obsessed. McIntyre said that they might have had banger after banger after banger, but he said he's going to be honest with them because he tells the truth always, and he's the only person who would do so. He said after last week with Sheamus' return, it wasn't looking like banger after banger after banger. It looks like Sheamus has had burger after burger after burger. Sheamus laughs and responds, I can lose the weight, but you can't lose stupid. McIntyre said the guys in the back were mocking Sheamus's weight during his match, but McIntyre stood up for him because he's a good friend. Sheamus didn't care what they said because it didn't bother him. McIntyre did care because Sheamus was his friend, and McIntyre told the truth, and he was Sheamus's only friend here. He said that they've always been able to fight and have pints afterwards, and McIntyre says that he was past all of that now. He only fought if it was worthwhile, and this right here isn't worthwhile. McIntyre was still Sheamus's friend, and he would remain at ringside to watch his back. McIntyre changed his tone when he said this, leaving it very ambiguous. So he stood at ringside for our next matchup. But before we get into it, what did you think about Sheamus and McIntyre's exchange here?
Whenever Drew comes into the ring for an in-ring promo, for me, it feels like an event now. It's like, you're going to get something good, Drew on the mic in the ring. And yeah, this was more good stuff with Sheamus here. It's only fitting that Sheamus interrupted. Like, this is they were good here. They played to their friendship naturally. And, Drew playing the social media, clowning Sheamus for his weight is exactly what Sheamus was calling him out. He's obsessed with social media now all of a sudden. So it's a natural first feud for Sheamus's return. Even though they didn't get right into it yet, they're going to. And this should be a banger match for Backlash and Patty.
I don't think it's going to be for Backlash. I think they're building longer. I think they're going to face in the King of the Ring tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they team for Backlash. I don't know.
Could do that. That would be a nice way to kind of prolong things. But yeah, it was good stuff. I don't know how I feel about the fat shaming, and I don't know if that's going to be a thing that they continue doing. I understand it's playing off the social media and it works with McIntyre's character. I just don't have faith in a wrestling company to do a fat shaming storyline very well.
I don't think it's going to keep up.
But this right here was good.
Look at Sheamus
He looked good.
1 week. Yeah,
he looked good. That's why I didn't even mention like him like looking kind of thicker last week because it wasn't a big deal to me.
It wasn't that big a deal. No, it's just dicks online.
Yeah, but I don't want them to make it a thing for like a couple of weeks and then drop it as well, because that's kind of what they did with Maxine. They brought back, doing something with Maxine on this show, but they made it all about the online criticism for like 2 weeks and then completely dropped it. So I don't want that to be the thing with Sheamus, because the worst thing you could do for a fat shaming storyline is push it for a couple of weeks and then drop it.
Yeah,
without a follow-up.
I don't think it's going to be a thing, but I did see Sheamus's latest tweet. It was pretty funny. It was like something like, "This is the king I'm hoping to be," and it's like a gif of the Burger King.
He's playing into it very well. I will give him that. Sheamus going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura was next with Drew McIntyre at ringside. Drew was absolutely great at ringside. Hearing Michael Cole and Pat McAfee talking shit and coming around and just basically cutting a promo into McAfee's fucking headset. It was outrageous. It was great. The match here, it was a Shinsuke Nakamura Raw match in 2024. I am sorry to say that the reason that I said it's a Shinsuke Nakamura match on Monday Night Raw in 2024 is that it was fine, but overall forgettable. Sheamus, it was a physical affair with Nakamura kind of laying in the kicks and the strikes on Sheamus. Sheamus never won to hold back any of his strikes, but he would hit a kneecap, a few more strikes, and then suddenly we get Nakamura hitting some strikes of his own, and then Sheamus bounced off the ropes, hits a bro kick for the 1-2-3 to pick up the win here. This match going 11 and a half minutes. It was good while it lasted, but like I said, Shinsuke Nakamura Raw matches in 2024, they tend to all blend together at this point.
Yeah, not much to say here. Just a time filler. You know, the real meat and potatoes was the promo.
Yeah, pretty much. Next up, we get a video package of Sami Zayn and Chad Gable from last week, with Chad Gable's heel turn at the end. And then we hear from Sami Zayn. He's being interviewed by Kathy Kelly backstage. Zayn was angry and hurt. He had a lot to say, but was biting his tongue. He wanted to hear what Gable had to say tonight because he didn't know how Gable could defend his actions. This brings in Bronson Reed, who approaches Zayn and tells him that he has bigger problems than Gable. Zayn told him they could fight any place, anytime. Reed left. Kelly was about to do a follow-up question when Reed decks him from behind. Officials hurry in, trying to pull Reed away. He gives him a big splash into a laundry bin and then gets in Sammy's face, and he says that he would be the next IC champion. Any thoughts?
No, it was good stuff. I wonder when this match is going to be. Backlash? What do you think earlier?
Next week.
Is it confirmed? I don't know if it was confirmed.
Whenever they do the setup like this, where it's not an official challenge, like they don't say, "Oh, I'm challenging you for Backlash," they make it ambiguous. It's usually going to be on a Monday Night Raw episode. When they make it that ambiguous, that's what I've seen. I've noticed the pattern now. They make it very ambiguous because they're probably going to announce it for next week's show.
I got no faith in Bronson Reed winning. Zero.
But I mean, they might wait because of the draft and save it for the week after.
True.
Next we get the Chad Gable segment. Chad
Yes.
Gable comes out to explain his actions from last week. He enters with the rest of Alpha Academy: Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. Otis and Tozawa wore their colorful Alpha Academy gear, while Gable wore a suit. Gable said what he did to Zayn was justified. Zayn winning in Montreal wasn't enough for him. Zayn rubbed it in his face. He saw him weeping in the corner and placed the belt right in front of him. Gable was the bigger man, though, and raised Zayn's hand. But that still wasn't enough for Sami. Sami celebrated with his wife in the front row, knowing Gable was standing right there. Zayn knew that was his moment. That should have been Gable celebrating at WrestleMania with his daughter. Instead, he wasted his time training Zayn, and he's been wasting a lot of his time training a bunch of losers. He starts to go in and totally dress down the entire Alpha Academy. He admonishes Tozawa for racking up loss after loss every single week. He called Dupree pretty as a princess, but dumb as a box of rocks. He wondered what else he had to do for her because he had gotten nothing in return, and it was pathetic. The crowd chanted for Otis when he moved on to him. He said that he was his prize pupil, his number one guy. But he can tell now, he could tell him right to his face that he is the biggest disappointment of all of them. Gable said that this is why they signed up for the Academy, though. They were getting honest feedback and couldn't be upset with him for this. They were now going to focus on him. They were all going to win his IC title together, no matter what. And he says that he wanted to hear them say it as the crowd chanted no. Gable put the mic to Otis's face. He hesitated, but then he basically said regretfully, no matter what. Gable was pleased and he left on his own. I thought this was a really good segment that really cemented the Chad Gable heel turn in giving him a new arc where he doesn't have to go directly to a rematch with Sami Zayn. We could spend a couple of weeks with his character kind of getting overcome with the power of being the teacher of the Alpha Academy and his newfound change in attitude and how he's making life a living hell for Otis Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. And in the process, even in this first segment, it looks like it's going to get over Otis. And then in the long run, I think they're hoping it gets over Maxine.
Yeah, this set up something that could be really fun. Gable looks the part. He acted the part. Alpha Academy, it looks like they're going to get a lot of sympathy here. Definitely for Otis. You hope Maxine, Tozawa, who cares? But finally, someone called out Tozawa being the loser that he is with that one fluke win. Oh, my God. That was great. It was interesting. They went with a direction with Maxine that she's dumb and not that she can't wrestle. Because I figured Gable would want to lean into, you can't even wrestle.
But I like that. I said it in our group chat. I was like, I like the fact that it focused more on her character because that is what she's good at. Playing a character, being a valet, being an on-screen role. She's not very good at the wrestling part, but she's got all the other things down right, and she did good with her facial expressions to what Gable was saying.
She did do good with that. And Otis, like I like the no matter what stuff. Like Otis is the crowd's really gonna get behind Otis to turn on Gable eventually here. So this is
very much. I got the same vibes in one segment. What I got from the patriarchy when the rechristening, when Christian was talking down to Luchasaurus and the crowd, and he changes his name and the crowd starts chanting Luchasaurus. I got the same vibes where I was like, oh, I can't wait for the crowd to get behind this guy turning against the asshole who's bossing him around.
That's a good one. We got something intriguing here. And I was going to say, that's a good shout to Christian. I was going to say, is there anything else that Gable's transformation reminded you of? Because it did for me. Two actually.
Who?
One was Chris Jericho, suited Jericho. The other was Brody Lee. When he started wearing suits and talking down to the Dark Order. That one was much more comedic.
I don't see the Jericho one because the Jericho one is not just the suits. It's his whole way he did promos. Like he's changed up his delivery. He started saying bigger words. We didn't get that from Gable. So I don't get the Jericho part, only the part with suits, which is kind of like a low level. But the Brody Lee, that's an excellent shout because definitely once you said it, I was like, yeah, him talking down was exactly how Brody Lee talked down to the Dark Order. You're absolutely right there.
Yeah, so like a lot of people want, they have this idea of Gable turning into heel Kurt Angle, but this is going for its own different thing. So This is going to be fun to watch.
I'm with it. I'm sold on it after 2 weeks. Dom approaches Ricochet backstage. Ricochet was upset that Dom wasn't cleared because he was looking forward to beating him again. Ricochet calls McDonough a bobblehead and says that he would beat him on speed as well and move on to win the speed championship. Like them finally plugging the freaking Twitter show. After Ricochet left, Dom talks a little trash, but then he turns around and he is approached by Liv Morgan. Intriguing. Wasn't it a Liv Morgan who said last week she is going to take everything from Rhea Ripley? Was I right when I heard that, Romeo? She said she's going to take everything from Rhea Ripley?
And this was, I heard Bully Ray on Busted Open say, just put Liv and Dom together. Go for it. Go all the way.
It actually was a couple of other wrestling podcasts who made the suggestion first. Billy does that a lot where he'll take it from somebody else and then claim it as its own because he hasn't had an original good idea in the past 30 years since ECW. But that's a whole another story. But yeah, it was I think it was Wrestle Talk first actually said it, where they said I think they were doing their review. They do like a review show for Backlash ahead of Backlash where they have like every roster member and you have to come up with 3 words for them. So Luke Owen got Dominic Mysterio, and he said he fucks Liv. That was his 3 words.
Listen, go all the way with it, and I want to see it on screen play out. Not Dom fucking Liv on screen. No, I want to see at least a kiss or something. Come on, let's get into our acting chops here. I don't care what relationships you are in real life. This is acting, folks. Act it out. Just like Rhea should have been acting with Dom. They should have had some kisses or something. We should have had a wedding. A wedding. None of that.
I wouldn't do all of that.
We always need a wrestling wedding.
No, they're too kinky. They're too kinky for that. Liv, it would make sense for her to want.
Oh, if you want to do a wedding there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that sets up the Rhea return. Dude, if anyone has an objection, no, that would be epic.
That is an epic way to set up a return.
That is an epic way. Josh Matlock saying Liv stealing Dom is going to be such a good addition to the Liv Rhea story. I totally agree. We have Emmanuel who says Dom is going to have a new mommy Liv.
And then Dom helps her win the title.
Yeah, I'm with that too. Because he needs to get revenge on Becky for punching him in the face. Liv responded to Rhea by saying she can't wait to put on a show for Rhea. Josh Matlock says, I'd like to see this happen and have Dom help Liv beat Becky for Rhea's title. We seem to be all on the same page here.
I see a pile driver with a pregnancy. No,
you're wild.
Liv has to fake it. A fake pregnancy.
She has to wear a bodysuit. Like, what are we doing?
to draw Dom in closer. That's when they get married.
Nia Jax got a quick.
It's such a heel thing to do. Oh, I'm pregnant. Not really.
Not really. I lost it in a matchup. Nia Jax cut a quick promo stating her intention to win the Women's World Championship. Then we got tag team action, Ricochet and Andrade teaming up to versus the Judgment Day's JD McDonough and the Legado del Fantasma Santos Escobar. This got it really slow, and it felt like it killed the crowd for a bit. The crowd was like scarily quiet during this matchup, but it really picked up in the latter half of this matchup with all four guys hitting big moves. These are very athletic, agile guys, and they were hitting big moves all around. In the end, it was Andrade who hit the message, which has now been renamed to the Shadow, for the victory. It still is not a finisher, no matter what you call it.
The elbow's great. The elbow don't got no damn name.
Nope.
The spinning elbow.
Nope. Apparently
the Andrade effect.
I'm done. Freeze comes out and attacks both the baby faces from behind. He lays out Ricochet with the Razor's Edge and then plants Andrade with the South of Heaven choke slam. He then gets into Dom's face and speaks in Spanish. But then JD McDonough asks him, what did he say? He said, I told him he didn't. I don't need you, but you need me.
Oof. Bars.
What did you think about Andrade and Ricochet picking up the victory and then the post-match with Damian Priest? Listen, and it sets up a 6-man tag for next week where it's going to be Jey Uso, Andrade, and Ricochet versus the Judgment Day.
Very nice. I thought Priest looked like a badass at the end, cleaning house after the match. I love that line that you just said. As far as the actual match, our viewers are going to have to rely on your thoughts for that because this was going on at the exact same time of that Knicks finish. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention.
You didn't miss much. Okay. Like I said, it was just solid. The crowd was really quiet for it, and also you have to take into account this was the third tag team match of the night. Felt very much the same. Like you gotta make the matches a little bit different because WWE TV tag team matches always feel the same. And when you have 3 on the same show, that feels like you just saw the same match 3 times.
And it's even worse with the women.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me started. The women don't get a reaction. Like this match at times, it was good action going on, but it felt like the crowd was treating it like the women's tag team match.
That's not good.
I know. We get the graphic to the Battle Royal is next. Then we get a Zoe Stark video package where she talks about how she's come close on several occasions, came close against Rhea Ripley, and tonight she's going to win the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. We go to Becky Redmond, who's interviewing Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This was quickly broken up by a loud commotion off screen. The camera cuts away to Nia Jax and Liv Morgan trying to fight one another as officials keep them separated. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch strolls up. she takes the mic from Jackie Redmond and she starts cutting her promo as she makes her way to the ring. She says that tonight is a big night for the Battle Royal. She passes by Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile, and she tells Maxine, "Is tonight your first championship main event?" And she says, "Yes." She says, "Go out there and make sure the people remember that." She gives her words of encouragement. She lets Triple H know that
You're in the match, Becky.
she lets Triple H know he better get ready to get that camera ready for a new picture as she makes her way to the ring. This was the third hour one shot entrance here, and it was great as always. Becky Lynch making her entrance with the one shot as the camera followed her all through Gorilla into her entrance. We get Nia Jax gets a formal entrance, and it leads to our big battle royal of the evening, 14-woman battle royal. Early on, it became the Maxine Dupree show as Maxine eliminated Candice LeRae. Indy Hartwell booted Dupree, but Maxine was able to reverse that and eliminate Indy as well. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance worked together, but Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark got the better of them. Baszler dumped Chance onto Carter's shoulders on the apron, and Stark super kicked them to eliminate them. Nia Jax slammed Ivy Nile into the ring post, eliminating her. Dupree stood up for her friend and started to shove Jax. Dupree hit a few kicks that actually looked good and got the crowd behind her. But Nia Jax quickly dumped her out of there to a loud boos from the fans. Maybe Maxine is getting over. Becky Lynch eliminates Piper Niven, which leads to Piper dragging her from under the bottom rope, shoving her into the steel steps. She also hits a big old cannonball onto Becky. She places Becky on the announce table when Nia Jax comes down. Nevins grabs her leg and yanks her out of the ring, which causes Nia to fight off her. Nia winds up taking out both women, chokeslamming Piper Niven onto Becky Lynch on the table. The table didn't break. She did a Samoan drop onto Piper Niven onto Becky Lynch, and the table still didn't break. Finally, during the commercial break, Nia powerbombed Becky through the table to finally make it break. I guess Piper Niven survived all of that. Chelsea Green was eliminated as the referees was checking on Lynch, so she just popped back into the ring as they went to commercial break. As soon as they came back from commercial break, Chelsea Green was eliminated. Why the fuck did you do all that? Stark eliminated Green. Baszler eliminated Natalya. Jax eliminated Stark and Baszler. And we got down to exactly the final three that we thought we would get down to. So it's like, why did you have to waste all this time? You could have just gave us a triple threat, but it was fun. It was fun by WWE Battle Royal standards. This left three ladies, and this last portion was actually really good in my opinion. I thought that all three ladies worked well with one another. In the end, Nia Jax was eliminated by Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan fought with Nia Jax. Fought with Becky Lynch for a while before Becky delivered a manhandle slam on the apron to eliminate Liv Morgan. We get the long celebration from Becky Lynch to close the show as she celebrates in the crowd with the fans, celebrating her new Women's World Championship. She holds the title for the first time. What did you think about the Battle Royal? I thought it was actually good. It was a fun Battle Royal. It got a few people over a little bit more, in my opinion, like Maxine Dupree especially. I thought that early section kind of helped her out and making me see like, okay, maybe she's getting better and maybe this crowd is getting behind her. So I'll give them credit for that. What did you think?
You're right about Maxine. I got a little nervous. My pick, Nia Jax. I thought Maxine was going to eliminate her for a second there with some of those kicks. Woo! And speaking of Nia Jax, she tried. I give her credit for the improv. Like, this table's getting broken one way or another. I don't care how. So, not perseverance there by Nia Jax. Very nice. But, I agree with you. Should have just been a triple threat match from the beginning, especially if Becky's winning because, she doesn't have to. She's not getting pinned in this scenario.
But I will say that them not making this a triple threat makes me hold out hope that they'll do it at one of the next pay-per-views. Because they have been building to that match for a while.
Yeah.
Like they were building that triple threat before WrestleMania.
Poor Liv is just like her weakness is that freaking apron and standing out on there. Like she always gets caught there. Like, come on, Liv. Damn. But
Better than that.
I like the Becky celebration after, going in the crowd. The crowd loved it. It all made for a nice visual. The pyro.
It made me think how long they were staying with it, that she was gonna get attacked by a new challenger or something, but
No,
they just
a
let
nice
her
little
have her moment.
celebration. Yeah, but now let's hope there's a focus on Liv Morgan, because I think there's something there, turning her darker and on the heel and doing something with Dom, which was teased, and getting all that going, and then biding time, using all that to buy time until Rhea's ready to return. Go crazy.
Yeah, I think that we probably get Liv beating Becky for the title. I want to say Clash at the Castle or Money in the Bank. I can see either or. What do you think?
That Clash of the Castle crowd, they're gonna go crazy for Becky. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's why you get the heat. You get the heat of Liv beating her.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should do. You gotta get heat on Liv Morgan, and I think her beating Becky in Scotland, I think that's the move.
Probably. We're not doing that quick Money in the Bank cash in.
No, we gotta. He still has not shown us that we can have a Money in the Bank woman's holder that holds it for more than a month. He broke the standard by holding it for more than a week, but we need one that holds it for more than 1 month, because we've only had one in this history.
I agree, but I can see it. Liv Morgan, Money in the Bank.
I can see that. What? She's already won Money in the Bank.
Again.
Oh, doing the CM Punk of use the second one to turn her heel. But that brings us to a close. Congratulations to Becky Lynch. I think that this was the right choice, in my opinion. When you lose such a big star as Rhea Ripley, who's in the top 3 draws in the company, as confirmed by Forbes when they ranked WWE as the second most viable combat sports promotion, Rhea Ripley was number 3 draw in 2023 for the company. I guarantee you, number 4 or 5 was Becky Lynch. So it just makes sense. You lose one, you just fill it in with the next biggest star. Makes sense, because it's going to facilitate a stronger start to a Liv Morgan heel title run.
It better. Because let me tell you, if Liv does not get the title and it just goes Becky to Rhea again, that's a failure.
Oh, yeah, that's a failure. That's definitely a failure.
Then this was not worth it.
No doubt. I agree with you there.
So I'll let it play out, but it has to play out to Liv winning.
We got Nelly Nell, who says Liv versus Rhea, summer 2024. Let's go. We also got Josh Matlock, who says parts of this tag match look rough. Andrade hasn't gotten over as much as I expected. I didn't expect him to get over. I expected Andrade to be in the same position he was in AEW, which that's why I was questioning why he was trying so hard to leave the company, because I was like, you're not going back to WWE for a higher spot.
Well, he's in a storyline. So that's positive.
I mean, he was in storylines too in AEW. Just like in WWE. None of them were that good. Emmanuel saying, let Andrade have a banger, damn it. He still hasn't had one, really. Sadly. Emmanuel says, how long until Liv beats Becky for the strap? I said Clash at the Castle. So, we'll see. We shall see. But Romeo, that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. Let's put our thumbs in the middle to give everyone know what we give it: a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. Let us know in the live chat. Last call for super chat donations. Come on, guys. We need at least one to be like we accomplished something today, and we didn't just talk in the camera for an hour and a half for no reason. So show that support as we run things down. Thumbs up, thumbs out, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Romeo, out of 10, what did you give the show?
You guys in the chat gave this a 7, 50%. 28 said 8. 17 said 0 to 6. 6 said 9. I'm going to go in the 7 range. I'm going to give it a 7.2. I thought a lot of fresh storylines going forward, but the in-ring was not a very good. There wasn't no standout in-ring match to really drive the score up. But I like, some of the storylines going forward. We seem to have directions, and I thought the promo work was really good.
I thought the promo work was solid on this show. Nothing that I'm gonna really remember like that, because even like the Drew stuff, I don't think that was one of his more memorable ones. It was just a setup for a new rivalry. So overall, like you said, there wasn't any real big strong matches. So this was just a solid 7 out of 10 show, in my opinion. MVP for the show, I'm gonna give it to Becky Lynch.
Chad Gable for me.
That is fair. LVP for the show.
This is easy.
Who?
Giovanni Vinci.
Unfortunately, yes, Giovanni Vinci is the LVP for getting
in multiple
kicked out.
ways, because he's
Again.
LVP for getting his ass kicked, and he's LVP for what's going to be coming forward for him. This is terrible.
This is terrible. We're mourning the loss of someone's career, basically, with this move.
Yeah, it's like he didn't get released. Boy, it sure is going to feel like it.
It sure is going to come. It's coming. We got and yeah, that's LVP Giovanni Vinci. Match of the night. Awesome Truth versus DIY.
Nothing really stands out. I'll give it to the main event since it actually, crowned a new champion. Like, if you're gonna watch anything back from this, it's probably that.
That's fair. We got Benjamin who says, "How do you think the draft will play out on Friday?" Well, you can learn how we think the draft are gonna play out, or how we would play out the draft. Because Romeo, we have something that's coming back very special for the people, and I believe we're going live tomorrow with that. You want to let them know?
Is this an annual thing now?
I think it is. It is.
True Heel Heat mock draft. Me versus SP3. Is it just us two? That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We will draft for our brands. One will represent Raw. One will represent SmackDown. Do you have a preference of what you want to represent, or does it matter?
Well, last year you represented Raw. I represented SmackDown. I think it's only fair if we switch it up.
All right. I'll go the blue brand. Perfect. I have a SmackDown shirt. Perfect.
There you go.
You go. You will go Raw, and we will draft from the current roster. We'll have our rules and whatever. We'll come up with that, and we'll see. We'll let you guys vote at the end of it. Who has the better show? Better draft.
Join us live for that. We'll update y'all. We'll put up the post on social media to let you know the time, but we'll be live for that to get your interactions and hear your thoughts on our picks in our live mock draft. But Romeo, let everybody know where they can follow you until then.
For Romeo Anthony on all social media, right here, Wednesday, the draft. Thursday, check out the Trio Elite Sports and Entertainment channel. We'll be watching another draft, the NFL draft, Thursday night as well. Definitely gonna be watching Knicks Sixers game 3 as well on that. And yeah, what else? There's something else that was going on. Is there anything going on this weekend?
I believe we finally got an off week in April. Weekend. We've yet to have an off weekend in April. We had WrestleMania, we had Windy City Riot, we had AEW Dynasty and Rebellion, and now we finally got a free weekend.
Okay. All right. Oh, no, something's going on Saturday. Yes. No, I forgot. Triple Mania, baby.
God damn, we can't get a break. Why can't we get a break?
Time of year, baby. I knew I was forgetting something. Triple R. You've never watched a Triple Mania? You gotta watch. This is fun. This is an event. This shit is hilarious.
Are you doing the Saturday Night Warriors for that?
Oh, Collision's on too, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
I'll watch Triple A closely.
hey, AEW Collision's been really good.
You guys could tell me what's going on Collision in the chat if you're watching that.
That's been really good the last 2 weeks. So I wouldn't huff over that. But you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat, $3 a month. Gets you exclusive content to go over and support us over there. And check out all the great content we got here on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel, like our flagship podcast, True Hill Heat 273 from last weekend, as well as our AEW Dynasty review with myself and Caden from yesterday, breaking down the latest All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view. But join us live here tomorrow for our mock WWE draft. We also got a latest Dark Side of the Ring review that's going to be up this week. AE Ramble, the flagship podcast, will all be back this weekend as well in this week. So be on the lookout for that as well. But for Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 18 for the April 22nd, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw. Becky Hogan has reigned supreme. We are signing off until next time.